Final update. My brother-in-law took my daughter's EpiPen and hid it because kids shouldn't be walking around with it. When I frantically searched for it after she had an allergic reaction, he laughed and said, "Relax. It's just a little swelling." My husband sided with him, saying, "Carrying that thing everywhere is paranoid. She'll be fine. She went into anaphylactic shock. I'm now filing charges and divorcing my husband." But the real blow came when Lily herself asked not to see Mark anymore. "I don't want to visit him, Mommy," she said quietly one evening as we were reading bedtime stories. "He didn't help me when I couldn't breathe." Children remember everything. Lily remembered Mark telling me I was being paranoid. She remembered him dismissing her medical needs, and she'd lost trust in him completely. "Are you sure, sweetheart?" I asked gently. "Mark loves you very much." "But he didn't believe my allergies were real," she said with a devastating clarity that only children possess. "He thought Uncle Tyler was right. But Uncle Tyler almost made me die." I couldn't argue with her logic. Mark had chosen Tyler's opinion over her safety, and she'd understood exactly what that meant, even at 6 years old. Tyler's trial was a wake-up call for a lot of people. The prosecutor presented evidence about anaphylaxis, expert testimony from allergists, and security footage from the barbecue that showed Tyler taking Lily's EpiPen and refusing to return it, even when I begged him. The most damning evidence was Tyler's own words, recorded by several family members on their phones. His comment about a little swelling while Lily was in anaphylactic shock was played in court, and you could see the jury's reaction. Tyler's lawyer tried to argue that he was just trying to help Lily have a normal childhood, that he didn't understand the severity of her condition. But the prosecutor demolished that defense. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," she said, "when a mother tells you her child could die without their medication, you don't get to decide she's wrong. You don't get to hide that medication and find out if she's telling the truth. Mr. Tyler gambled with a child's life based on his own uninformed opinions, and that child nearly died." Tyler was convicted of reckless endangerment and sentenced to 6 months in jail, 2 years probation, and 500 hours of community service at a children's hospital. The judge also ordered him to complete extensive education about food allergies and anaphylaxis. "Mr. Tyler," the judge said during sentencing, "your actions were not just dangerous, but arrogant. You decided that your uninformed opinion mattered more than medical professionals, more than this child's mother, and more than this child's life. That kind of arrogance could have killed someone." The case got media attention, partly because of how clear-cut it was, and partly because it highlighted how dangerous food allergy ignorance can be. I did several interviews with local news stations, always with Lily's face blurred for privacy. "I want other parents to know they're not being paranoid," I said in one interview. "I want people to understand that food allergies can kill. And when a parent tells you their child has allergies, you listen. You don't debate. You don't question. You don't test the limits. You listen, and you respect those boundaries." The response was overwhelming. I got hundreds of messages from other allergy parents sharing their own horror stories about family members, teachers, and strangers who didn't take their children's allergies seriously. The common thread was always the same: people thinking they knew better than the parents and medical professionals. But I also got messages from people like Tyler, people who admitted they'd never taken food allergies seriously before, but now understood how dangerous their attitude had been. "I'm ashamed to say I was like your brother-in-law," one message read. "I thought parents were overreacting about allergies. Your story opened my eyes. I'm sorry for every time I rolled my eyes at an allergy warning." Mark tried to reconcile several times during the trial. He'd completed the allergy education course, learned to use an EpiPen, and claimed he finally understood how serious Lily's condition was. "I get it now," he told me after one of Tyler's court hearings. "I see how wrong I was. Please give me another chance." But understanding after the fact wasn't enough. Lily had been let down by the 2 men who were supposed to protect her, and she'd almost died because of it. "I can't trust you with her life again," I told him honestly. "When it mattered most, you chose your brother over her safety. What happens the next time someone questions her allergies? What happens when it's not Tyler, but some other family member or friend who thinks I'm being overprotective? Will you have my back then? Or will you decide I'm being paranoid again?" Mark couldn't answer that question. And we both knew why. Because deep down, even after everything that had happened, he still thought I was a little overprotective. He'd learned to go through the motions, but he'd never truly internalized that Lily's allergies were a matter of life and death. It's been 8 months since the barbecue incident. Lily has recovered completely, though she's more anxious about her allergies now. She checks her EpiPen constantly and won't eat anything unless I've verified it's safe multiple times. The therapist says this hypervigilance is normal after a trauma like hers and that with time and support she'll regain confidence. Tyler served his full 6 months and was released last month. He sent me a letter from jail, a long apology that seemed genuine. He'd spent his time in the children's hospital learning about pediatric emergencies and had become an advocate for allergy awareness among the other inmates. "I know I can never undo what I did," he wrote. "I know sorry isn't enough, but I want you to know that I understand now how close I came to killing Lily, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to educate people about food allergies, so no other child goes through what she did." I appreciated the letter, but I haven't responded. Tyler's redemption journey is his own responsibility, not mine. Mark and I are officially divorced. He still sees Lily occasionally under supervision, but their relationship isn't the same. She's polite, but distant with him, and he struggles with the fact that she doesn't trust him anymore. "She used to run to me when I came home," he told me sadly during one pickup. "Now she barely looks up from her toys." Trust is earned, I reminded him. And once it's broken, especially with a child, it takes a long time to rebuild. Mark's family has been split by the whole ordeal. His parents have been supportive and have taken allergy training courses so they can safely watch Lily. His sister learned to cook allergy-friendly meals. But some of his siblings still think I overreacted by pressing charges against Tyler. "Families should handle these things privately," one of them told me. "Taking him to court just made everything worse." "You know what made everything worse?" I replied. "Your brother hiding a child's life-saving medication and refusing to return it while she was dying. Everything that happened after that was consequence, not cause." I've become something of an accidental advocate for food allergy awareness. I speak at schools and parent groups about the realities of living with severe allergies. I always tell Lily's story, always emphasize that allergies aren't opinions or preferences. They're medical conditions that can kill. The message I always end with is simple: when a parent tells you their child has allergies, believe them. When they ask you to read ingredients, help them. When they bring their own food, respect that. And when they say their child needs their medication accessible at all times, listen. Because the alternative isn't an embarrassment or inconvenience, it's death. Lily and I have built a new life together. She's thriving in school, has made new friends whose parents understand her allergies, and is learning to advocate for herself confidently. She still carries her EpiPen everywhere, clipped to her bag where she can see it, and I can see it. Last week, she told me something that broke my heart and filled it at the same time. "Mommy, I'm glad you fought for my EpiPen. Even when everyone was mad at you, you kept trying to save me." "I will always fight for you, sweetheart," I told her. Always. Because that's what real love looks like. Not the conditional support that disappears when things get complicated, but the fierce protection that never wavers, even when it costs you everything else. My daughter is alive because I refused to back down, refused to be silenced, and refused to let anyone convince me that her life mattered less than their comfort. That's a choice I'd make again every single time.